Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. It's Ladies' Night. I wish I could just cue up the song, but you already know the deal. Every Wednesday night at 9, all the beautiful ladies of WHUR get together and we just chit chat with you about current events, whatever is going on. So you already know. It's all about the election. So let's get this party started. I want to start. Let's just go out of order. It doesn't matter who comes on first. Let's start with my girl, Nina Brown.
Hey.
Giving us Star Day vibes tonight. Ooh. Autumn Joy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Autumn. Hey, Kokalani.
Hey.
Hey, lady. And we have a special guest. She's also one of the ladies of WHUR. Party is not complete without our very own Molette Green.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. Look at you beautiful ladies.
Aw, thank you. Right back at you. I would love for all of us to just kind of weigh in on how you're feeling. These are crazy times. We had to bring our WHUR news anchor and, of course, Channel 4 WRC news anchor Molette Green to help us with the facts and figures. But this whole election campaign is bananas. Right?
It really is. It really is.
Last night, not a wink. I legit watched the sun come up this morning.
Yeah. I got bags under my eyes and I'm okay with it because, this was an election that all of us had our eyes on. And here we are tonight with no clear winner on a night where we have set another record for coronavirus infections in this country. 100,000 cases today. Another staggering record. And we don't know who the president is at this moment. It's a nail biter. We have Biden urging patience while President Trump has threatened lawsuits. So here we are in our country, ladies.
Yeah, here we are in our country. Carmelita said, Molette, welcome. Now that's Nina's friend. Nina, how are you feeling? Weigh in on this topic.
Well, I'll be honest. I've had major election anxiety up until today, up until this morning when I woke up at about 3 a.m., checked my phone to see, what the status was and saw that it was, almost tied. I woke up again at 5 a.m. And then today I just feel good, to see that people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That the numbers have beat all records. I feel good because I was really afraid from talking to the people that I have been talking to and just hearing people say they weren't voting, they were voting for Trump. It's that was so discouraging, but I feel good. I'm ready to celebrate this.
I love that. And in the comment section, they're feeling pretty good too. Beverly Johnson said, hey, beautiful ladies. Lisa said, hey, beautiful ladies. Carmelita, she was so happy to hear WHUR talking about party at the polls all day. You all made that segment happen, Queens. Yes. And Autumn, you were doing your thing, on the air talking about the election. How are you feeling?
Similar to what Nina said, anxiety. I had my popcorn, I had my bottle of wine with my straw in it because I just knew it was going to be a long night. And so I stayed up as long as I could. Of course, I fell asleep on it. But like Molette said, with the lawsuits and everything of that nature, I can't believe the president is suing, for 35 votes? Really? It's at this point, it just feels petty. I do think that, the Democratic Party does have a great chance of pulling this off. But then again, there is that anxiety where you just don't know what direction that the votes are going to go in. And can I just really quickly add, there was a little part of me that felt sad that we really are this close. It's really this close after this president has demonstrated being a racist, being a bigot, all of that. So
not to mention what he's done with this whole pandemic. It's his fault that it's gone this far. Kokalani?
Yes, I feel the same way. I think yesterday just getting people out to vote. I was so excited to see so many people going out there to vote, and just hearing about the early vote and the numbers, how there were over 1 million, people who cast the early voting. But I could also see the anxiety, especially here in Washington, D.C., because last night I had a meeting downtown in D.C. and all the streets were blocked off. Like all the streets were blocked off. You couldn't even get near 17th, 16th Street, anywhere. They were anticipating something, regardless of how things were going. So I was like, is it really that deep? Are we really at that point where, people are and everything was boarded up downtown in DC? And I was like, what is going on? I personally didn't think, we had to worry about anyone, acting crazy regardless of the election. But, just seeing the boarded buildings, I was like, the anxiety that everyone else has, and like Nina, I went to sleep. I had CNN on in my kitchen all day. So when I went to sleep, it was sort of in the background. But when I woke up this morning, I felt a little relieved, because I saw how different votes were being tabulated and how it was coming in. So right now I feel okay. I'm kind of at ease, even though things haven't been tabulated, things are still up in the air, but I feel a little more at peace now.
Yeah. Oh, Prez Nuff said, hey, Queens, let's stay positive. And Autumn Joy, I love your show.
Oh, thank you.
Stella Burton, how you doing? Thank you. Christopher Mason, the polls just updated. Biden is about to steal Arizona. He writes, Biden 51, Trump 46%, and Trump needs Arizona to win. So
Arizona is really interesting. Cindy McCain, John McCain's widow, endorsed Joe Biden, right? And when John McCain was alive, he gave it to Trump. Remember? You remember how they went at it?
Oh, and I know.
John McCain a coward for being captured as a prisoner of war. John McCain dies, and Trump really never came around to embracing this senator, this longtime senator of Arizona. And here you have now Arizona being a key race,
exactly,
possibly defeating the Trump era.
Yes.
I mean, it kind of couldn't get more scripted as a drama.
Someone said that this is like John McCain's last wish. He's up wherever he is, passing down this wish. This is his last wish, right?
So it's very interesting to watch as a journalist, but also just as this political theater that's played out between John McCain and the president, Cindy McCain, and even John McCain's daughter, who's gone head to head with the president. So very interesting.
Very interesting. DJ Wheezy, hey! Oh, I love it. So yeah, ladies, feel free to just chime in. I mean, what about the wall that went up around the White House?
Oh my gosh, that's so disheartening.
Are we in America? Where are we?
Yeah, it's like this. I saw something really interesting. Donald Trump couldn't finish the wall to block off Mexico, so he put the wall that he couldn't, manage around the White House. And it's like, what kind of message are you sending to the American people? It's like, are you scared of your own people?
Yes.
And, because we all know it's like, the Trump supporters, they're the ones that we've seen are aggressive. They're the ones that have the caravans that are, surrounding the Biden bus and being intimidating. It's his followers that he needs to be blocking himself off from, not the Democratic Party. And again, there's people on either side that are very aggressive, when it comes to their beliefs. And lastly but not least, I did want to welcome the last guest that's here. My son on the stairs there, Xavier. He's just like, they're saying hi, Xavier.
So cute.
He wanted to watch his mom on television.
Perfect.
Oh my! Well, you know what? You touched on that, on just how the Trumpsters are being so negative and so aggressive. I mean, there's a lot to be a little bit afraid of. Just in not far from where I live, one of my friend's mother was kind of, okay, the story goes, My friend's mother went to Lord & Taylor, not realizing that it was gone at White Flint. She gets out of her car to go, to walk up to it. As she's heading back to her car, this guy rolls down his window and says, I'm for Donald Trump 2020, calls her the N-word, tells her to get out of the neighborhood. This is my girlfriend's mother.
Yeah.
So she gets back at her car, starts it up, and she's driving. The guy follows her every time she turns, he turns. So she goes back to the parking lot, calls the police. They come, talk to him. They don't do anything.
Exactly. Don't do anything.
So what is that?
See, that's more so what I'm worried about. Like the inauguration will not be until January 20th. So it's like we still have to deal with Trump and, and all these Trumpsters who, feel like they just have to go so hard, like Autumn was saying, for 2.5 months. And to me, that's the concern, because they're not, Trump, I feel like, incites violence. He even subliminal, and that's what he's for. And especially because he's already said he's not going to concede. It's like, okay, so what's going to happen? I mean, literally when I went to Walmart, Tuesday, everything was cleared out. Like people are preparing for a total lockdown if things get crazy. I mean, I know Autumn has talked about it on her show a lot. Frank is, he's into it. We talked about it a little last week, but I think that's where this is going to get crazy. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm scared of. Listen, I got to go to work at the TV station tomorrow morning, and they outfitted us with a gas mask.
Wow.
And one of those military grade hard hats, because whenever we do get a finale, whenever we know the winner, we don't know what to expect in the streets. And like you said there, Nina, people are scared. There are a lot of people who have told me that they have their guns ready just in case people come up to them in their homes, in their cars. I'm terrified as a woman, as a mother, as a journalist, as just a citizen of this country about, feeling comfortable about going outside. Exactly. And yet we still have a pandemic that we're dealing with. It's scary.
It's scary. Marvis says, love Autumn Joy's one in the background. Anthony says, I'm afraid the wall he put in place is dividing this country. It sure is.
The wall is dividing. You know what kind of backfired on him when he put the wall up around the White House? If you've ever been down there to the Black Lives Matter Plaza, sort of backfired because people are using it to put up murals of people who passed away. They're actually using freedom of speech. So, and as I mentioned last night when I was going downtown, there was I'm not sure what go-go band was down there, but there was a celebration in front of the White House on Black Lives Matter Plaza. So it's everything that he's doing to block people out, people are just utilizing it for, it's just, 180. People are utilizing it to speak their mind and say things. And it's really sad, though. It's really sad, though.
I mean, and as Estella says, thank you, Estella, we all just need to be aware of our surroundings.
Yeah.
Try not to go out alone. I mean, I stocked up, too. Autumn.
What did you stock up on?
I stocked up on everything.
What you got, Angela? What you got?
What you got?
I did get a lot of snacks, but
I got the snacks.
I got fruit. I got non-perishable, actually mostly non-perishables. I got a lot of paper products. I got a lot of bottled water. And I even, I have the Brita with the filters. I got extra filters. I just got everything that I normally get. I just got a lot more of it.
We may need to lay low. We need stuff so we can lay low.
Just so we can lay low.
I'm not laying low. I ain't laying low.
And not even laying low, but if you try to go to the grocery store tomorrow, there will be nothing. So it's everybody's it's there. It's this ridiculous sense of hoard everything. And if you've got kids, I mean, we gotta feed them. You know what I mean? But going to the grocery store and the shelves being cleared out, everything as a parent.
I know. Yeah. And on a serious tip, Autumn, we saw your little one, and we still see your little one there peeking in. I have kids, and those of us with children, my kids are I have a teen and a tween, and they are watching this like a hawk, like so many other kids. And I am having to instill confidence in them that whatever the outcome, You're still going to wake up tomorrow morning and have bacon and eggs. Mommy and daddy will still be here. You will still have school. There is this level of anxiety among our children that is indescribable, because they can't compartmentalize like all of us. You know, we can kind of put this situation over here and go to work or do our business or take care of our needs. But our babies don't have all of that. And so we're dealing with that too, you know?
It's overwhelming. I mean, Dirk said, what are the next steps we as Black people must take if Biden, Harris, wait, where did it go? If they win the presidency, what are the next steps?
Well, I just really quickly wanted to touch on some of the statistics from the exit polling that NBC4 actually were talking about. You know, it was like 18% of African-American men so far voted in Donald Trump's favor.
Absolutely.
And then something like 33% of Hispanics voted in Donald Trump's favor. And I was very surprised by, maybe not so much the Hispanic number as well, you know, but I was very surprised by the 18% of African-American men, which was up from 12% in 2016. So what I am wondering is if, like, the narrative and you know, the people that have, the Black rappers that have backed Donald Trump, did they have an effect on those younger generations? Kanye West got 60,000 votes.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. It's really crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, it makes no sense. I mean, and yeah, of the Hispanics, and someone said that Cubans historically vote Republican.
Right.
But it's insane. I mean, all of the things, I'm still shocked that it's this close. You know, I thought it was, I mean, I'm sure many of us thought it was going to be a landslide. With all of the things that 45 has done against humanity, and people are still voting for him like that.
Yeah, he's an incredible, you know, no matter what you think about Donald Trump, if you like him or don't like him, he is an incredible communicator and effective at invoking fear and scaring people into believing something. What he did in South Florida, in Miami with the Cubans, was pretty brilliant. I mean, those attack ads basically scared the crap out of the Cubans and the Venezuelans, thinking, comparing Biden and all Democrats to being socialists. And when they ran those ads over and over again, it worked. Because that's like kryptonite, being a socialist. I mean, they ran away from their countries because of that. And then with the African-American men, I think the effective argument he had was his prison release and targeting African Americans in that way, making it seem like he really did something for helping with that issue, which is a problem in our culture. And then, of course, having the rappers who are effective. People look up to these guys, come out and say, you know, I'm with him. He's our guy.
And it doesn't matter that he lies so much. I mean, he lies all the time. And it seems like people, you know what I mean? I mean, how is he able to put these commercials on and just lie, and it just flies?
What I think about him is he is an entertainer. You know, people, we're all in this social media. People watch The Apprentice. They are sold with businessmen. They don't know about him in the 80s and when he was going through bankruptcy and all that stuff in New York. All they know is The Apprentice. We are about TV. You know, when he does these star ops, these photo ops with celebrities, they're buying into the sensationalism. And, you know, not just looking at that part, you know, people, you know, I'm not going to discredit or say anything about his base, but you know, he's a soundbite person. He's a soundbite. He's a catchphrase person. So you talk to people, and if you try to have a actual conversation with some people, they just know the catchphrases. They just know Sleepy Joe. They just know little phrases like that. But one thing I can say on a positive note, when I heard Joe Biden speak earlier today, is, and one thing that I think we all noticed throughout Donald Trump's presidency is that he polarized the nation. He was never the president of the United States. He was the president of the Republicans. He was like, the Democrats are doing this, the liberals are doing this. And one thing that felt refreshing when Joe Biden was speaking is he said, you know, I don't care if you didn't fight for me, I'm going to fight for you. And, you know, it's not going to be red and blue states. It's going to be the United States. And that gave me a sense of solace, a sense of peace, because we need a leader because everything trickles down. Everything, it comes from the top. So if the top is preaching division, that's what you're going to get. Those are the seeds that are planted.
The soul of the country is at stake, Angela.
Right.
I mean, that's what we're talking about. That's what Coco basically said.
Exactly. Coca. Did you say Coca?
Oh, I'm sorry, Coca.
Girl. Shout out to the comment section. This is a good time to divert. My cousin is on this thread. Cedric Culver
I got you.
He said earlier, I know this is ladies' night, but he wants to be a part of this conversation. And then he writes, just goes to show the mindset of our country. Unfortunately, it's so true. Monica says sometimes the traditional conservatives approach means you stay with something no matter what. At times you just stay, I guess, whatever it is. If you're a Republican, you go down with the Republicans. Odessa says, hi, everybody. Yeah, gosh, I mean, where do we go from here? I mean, regardless of who is elected.
I do think, like Molette was saying, that Trump's tactics are so brilliant because like that platinum plan, you know what I mean, for Black people in the last few weeks. And there you go. There goes a lot of those votes, though, that were like, where do they come from? Well, that was brilliant. And that's one thing that I know Frank and I have said a lot. We said this early on. They need to come up with a very clear, very decisive plan on what you're going to do for Black people, especially with the history of things. So in my opinion, where do we go from? We need to actually hold them accountable. That's the one thing that Cube has been preaching. It's like, make them earn our vote. And we said, well, it's a little late to be talking about that now. But I believe once they get in, then we do need to say, okay, let's have a clear agenda of what you're going to do for us now. You know what I mean? It's not too late to do that.
And there have been so many Black women's groups out there really galvanizing the vote and saying just that, that we have got to stop being so loyal and not holding them accountable after the fact. We've got to demand it, and we got to stay on their necks when they get in office that you said you were going to do this, and where is the proof? Show me the policies. I want to see it. That's what we got to do.
And I think one of the things, too, is I think we all and just everyone in general needs to educate themselves on the political process, because the president can only do so much. And if the only time people are voting is every 4 years, you don't understand that you have council people, you have your state representatives. So the president can only do so much. If you have not voted in those other elections, his hands are like handcuffed. You saw what happened when Obama was in office. But I do agree with you, Nina, is that we do need to be organized. And as Killer Mike said, organized, strategize, mobilize. We have to do all those things, but we have to also be advocates. We have to get involved politically. If you are part of the Congressional Black Caucus, if you know someone, your councilman, know who your state representative is, know who your congressperson is in your neighborhood, because it starts there. It doesn't start at the president. And that's what a lot of people think. Well, he's not doing that for me. Well, no, he's working with the powers that be, if you understand the executive, judicial, and all those different branches. So I think we all need to educate ourselves on that, so we understand the actual powers that the president can do. We can't just pass a whole bunch of executive orders, although Trump, he did a lot, but in a normal presidency,
Yeah, and really quickly, I was going to just kind of piggyback off of what Millette said. I feel honestly, and I don't know if you ladies will agree with this, but for the first time, I feel like with Kamala coming into, being vice president, maybe we really will start seeing some tangible change when it comes to the African-American community, stuff where you can feel like, well, thank you, Mr. President and Madam Vice President. Like, before it's always just kind of been like, well, what are you going to do for Black people? And we never, it's like, it doesn't feel tangible. I feel like for the first time, okay, it's me that's at the White House. Like my girl, my sis is in there. You know what I'm saying? I can smell the coconut grease, already. Like, I'm excited for the first time. Like, I feel like something will tangibly happen for Black people.
I hope so. I agree with you, Autumn. And it's definitely confidence inspiring that at least someone is in there who could have our best interest at heart and actually do something about it. I feel that way with Biden and with Kamala. So I pray. From the comments, Monica, hi, thank you for joining us. We must start really rebuilding some Black Wall Streets. Oh my
That's
God,
true. That's true.
Ain't that the truth?
we don't have to ask permission. That's huge. I mean, for Black businesses to start supporting other Black businesses. I mean, a lot of people say it, and and then you get the old, I tried to support this Black business, this didn't work out, so that's the last time I'm going to support somebody Black.
Well, we had that wonderful
I want reparations, damn it. Like, where are our reparations? Right there. Tax cuts, scholarships for our kids. What? Send me a like, come on. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We had that wonderful resurgence during, the protest situation with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And, we had that resurgence in interest in Black businesses. And that was so good. And we got to keep that going. We have to keep that going. We have to purposefully choose our doctors and lawyers and businesses and wherever we go and make sure they're Black owned. And there's so many great Black owned businesses out there. When you have a bad experience, don't turn your back on everyone. Just don't utilize that group or that company or business and still search them out. I personally have done that all my life. All my doctors, everybody are African American or Black or people of color.
You and Dirk are saying the same thing. Black people need to practice group economics. Dollars within our communities. Yeah. Isabella says hello from Dubai.
Hey, Isabella.
But yeah, I mean, that is, it's more than a notion. I mean, it's one thing to say it, but just like you, Millette, it's another thing to actually to do it and to do it often, to seek out Black businesses.
Well,
what else?
Well, really quick. So sorry. I just want to ask this question and just address the elephant in the room. We all remember Oklahoma decades ago when Black people did try to create our own, and then the Caucasians came and burned it down.
Right.
Do you honestly think that in 2020 and beyond, do you really feel that African Americans can really unite at such a magnitude as we tried to do in Oklahoma? And do you feel like it would be successful, or do you think that outside influences will come in and it would implode? I mean, I think that we've been talking about trying to create something where African Americans, we do it together. But do you really think that that's something that's tangible?
I'll go first. I mean, I think the tragedy would be to not do it in fear of someone coming along to destroy it. That means you never build anything. I think in this climate, since it looks like we've gone back to the 60s anyway, we might as well just build some Black wealth and start circulating those dollars. Honestly, I think now more than ever before. I mean, we've seen things about this country that, maybe we didn't realize how many racist people live among us. Maybe now is the time to start, Black pride is real. And now is the time, I think, to embrace it. And, maybe try to do it.
I was going to go ahead, Nina, and I'll talk to you,
I was
Nina.
going to say it's a one quick thing. It's if we can't do it, then at least invest in our children, and make sure that the future generation, we're putting them in school, empowering them with knowledge so they can do it. You know what I mean? Because these younger generations, they are smart as a whip. They have no fear. They're totally different. They literally have no fear. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different generation. And I think that it can be done, even if it's not our generation doing it, it can be the future. We have to equip our children to do that.
And I agree with what you're saying, and I do believe that we can do something as far as circulating, building a Black family, of Black economics. But at the same time, we cannot be financially illiterate to what's going on in the world, and not be financially illiterate to understand that instead of buying, everybody on here buys stuff. We need to buy shares in company, so we're making money off the things that we're doing. There are so many people that we know. Well, just in general with the Black culture in general, a lot of people aren't educated on just IPOs and shares and companies. We're quick to buy things from stores and companies, but they're making the money off that. And all you got to do is buy a share. It might be $120, and you sit that in, and 10 years from now, you're making money off of stuff. And a lot of people aren't just educated to understand the stock market, IPOs, and just us having a Black business is not going to do anything unless we understand the financial structure of this country in which we live in, so we can maximize that dollar. So I think it's very important that we are financially literate and taking a piece of the pie, because that's what happens when we're looking at the Dow Jones and things going up and down. A lot of Black people are like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's the problem, because that should have something to do with us, because we all should have some investments in there. So we're worried about that. So when Donald Trump says something crazy, we can look and see how it's affecting. But we really, the majority of Black people really don't understand all of those things. So when it goes up and down, nobody's paying. They pay more attention to the entertainment section than they do the business section to see what's going on with stocks.
I think that's a great point. That's a great point. I mean, so many of us, we come up with these wonderful business ideas, but we don't know how to run a business. And so the business comes to an end. We can cook the food or we can make the products, but in the actual running of the business and getting investments and getting capital, Black women are big business owners. We start our businesses. We know that corporate America hasn't treated us so well. We get out and we start our own thing. We are the largest consumers in this country, but we've got to own stuff, like you guys have all eloquently said. And I believe if we've done it before, like we did it in Oklahoma and other states, the Black Wall Street, I mean, those were hundreds of businesses back then, and they kept that from the history books. They don't want us to know our story. And once you know your story, the narrative empowers you to repeat the story and make it even better.
Wouldn't it be the most wonderful thing that comes out of this? And I love this dialogue. That answers the question, where do we go from here? Mm-hmm. I love the conversation. Ladies, I think we have another great one on the books. I know I'm going to be watching TV tonight. Like last night. I'm getting some sleep tonight. But thank you all so much. If I can, anyone who wants to take a group shot, this is our group photo.
Oh, let's take a group shot.
Pose. Okay, my cheeks are hurting.
Autumn has the camera up against the
I got it on
the real thing.
I got us on my big screen, my 75 inch. Just like up there.
She got a 75-inch 4K. Okay.
Did you say you have a 75-inch television?
The 4K? Is that what you got?
I'm coming over.
Hold on. I'm going to show you guys. Wait a second.
I believe you. I don't want you to fall. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
then she got the sound bar. You gotta have the sound bar. You gotta have the sound bar with the ring light. I'm not mad at you, Autumn. You gotta have it.
I just want to shout everybody out individually, and you can, tell everybody where they can catch you and your social media before you say goodnight. And I want to thank everyone who took the time to comment and to follow us Ladies Night every single week. Wednesday nights at 9:00. We do this all for you. And I absolutely love it. So thank you, ladies, just for bringing it as usual. So let's start with Molette Green. Tell everybody how they can connect with you.
Thank you again for letting me sit in too. I just really appreciate it. On Instagram, I'm The Real Molette. And on Facebook and Twitter, just Molette Green. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Love you, Molette. That's pretty awesome. And Nina Brown of the Frank Ski Show. Tell the people.
Yes, you can catch me every weekday, Monday through Friday from 3 to 7 on the Frank Ski Show. But you can also catch me on Instagram at Penina Brown. That's Penina Brown, or on Twitter as Nina Brown.
Oh, I like the kiss.
All right. Autumn Joy.
Hey guys, so you can catch me Monday through Friday, 10 to 3 on WHUR, and my Instagram is Autumn Joy with an I, live, and I love Nina Brown. I'm her biggest fan.
Kokalani.
All right, and I just want to say thanks, Molette, for joining us today. It was really great having you. It was awesome. I'm Kokalani. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Kokalani, Cokalani. You can check me out on Saturday from 12 to 5 and also at 4 p.m. on Saturday for the 4 p.m. face-off. And I will see you this Saturday.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, ladies. The ladies of WHUR, have a great night. Thank you so much. Well, this was amazing. I'm Angela Stribling. You can catch me. Actually, my show is Pillow Talk with Angela. It's going to start in a couple weeks. I'll give you more information about that. If you want to follow me, at Angela Stribling on all platforms. And thank you so much for keeping 96.3 WHUR #1 in the DMV. We love you for that. Stay safe. Say your good prayers tonight for the election, and we'll see you soon. Have a great night.